They didn't send a warning. No siren, no evacuation order. The collapse didn't come from a meteor or a government collapse or a plague spreading across continents. It came quietly, fluorescently lit, with a loyalty card and a smile at checkout. It came in a shopping cart. Every single week, millions of families walk through those automatic sliding doors, believing they are feeding their households, nourishing their children, making smart choices in a world that seems increasingly hostile to smart choices. And every single week, the architecture around them, the shelving, the lighting, the invisible mist of synthetic cinnamon pumped through the ventilation, conspires to extract as much money from them as humanly possible while delivering the bare minimum in return. We are not talking about a scam you can report to a hotline. And we are talking about a system, a deeply engineered, meticulously studied, perpetually optimized machine that has had decades to perfect the art of separating you from your paycheck using your own instincts against you. Your hunger, your fatigue, your love for your children, your anxiety about making the healthy choice. Every one of those very human feelings is a vulnerability, and someone has already built a product to exploit it. The average American household hemorrhages over $1,500 a year inside grocery stores, not because they are reckless, not because they are careless, but because the traps are exquisitely constructed. You do not stumble into them, you are guided. 17 items, each one chosen because it sits at the intersection of your instincts and their profits. Some of the numbers will feel almost absurd. A few of the health revelations will be harder to shake than you want them to be. And by the time we reach the item that almost every household in this country buys every single week, the one carrying a markup of 4,000%, the one that peer-reviewed research now suggests may be more contaminated than the free alternative already running through your pipes at home, you will not look at it the same way again. The countdown begins. Number 17. Bottled salad dressing. Before we even reach the produce, before the cart has anything worth dressing in it, the store is already after you. Bottled salad dressings line an entire aisle, categorized by cuisine, by dietary identity, by the promise of restaurant-quality flavor at home. A bottle of artisan balsamic vinaigrette runs $3 to $5 for 12 ounces. How your own version? Olive oil, a splash of vinegar, a pinch of salt, a scrape of garlic, costs a fraction of a cent per serving, takes 30 seconds to shake in a jar, and contains none of the xanthan gum, sodium benzoate, or high fructose corn syrup hiding in the third line of that ingredient list. The bottled version is not more flavorful. It is more engineered, formulated to hit the precise combination of fat, salt, and sugar that makes your brain register satisfaction before you've thought about what you just poured. Homemade dressings made fresh cost pennies. The markup on bottled dressing consistently exceeds 300%. Every salad you dress from a bottle is a small tithe paid to a system that bankrolled the research into exactly how to make you pour more. Number 16. Bag salad kits. And now we are in the produce section, where the apocalypse wears a very convincing disguise. The bag salad kit, pre-shredded lettuce, a tiny sealed packet of dressing, a handful of croutons, maybe a sprinkle of cheese, all vacuum sealed in a bag that glows with health virtue just by existing near the vegetables. A typical kit costs $5 to $7. Buy those same components whole and separately, and you are spending under $2. The markup sits between 200 and 300% before you have even checked out. But the money is almost the secondary outrage here. The moment a leafy vegetable is cut, it begins dying. Not metaphorically, biochemically. The cutting process triggers oxidation, and oxidation degrades vitamin C, breaks down cellular structure, and accelerates moisture loss. That bag of pre-shredded lettuce you pulled from the shelf may have been processed 4 or 5 days ago in a facility 3 states away. It has been losing nutritional value every hour since the blade touched it. The dressing packet is not food. It is a sodium delivery mechanism with stabilizers and emulsifiers designed to survive the supply chain, not to contribute to your health. A whole head of romaine, wrapped in a dry cloth in your refrigerator, stays crisp for the better part of a week. Costs under $1. Contains more nutrition per gram than anything in that glossy bag. The salad kit is not convenience. It is a premium charge for inferiority, packaged to look like sophistication. Number 15. Flavored instant oatmeal packets. Here is how they got breakfast. They took one of the genuinely nutritious, ancient, virtually indestructible whole foods on the planet, the oat, and they subdivided it, flavored it, individually wrapped it, and marketed it as the pinnacle of a healthy morning. A box of 10 flavored oatmeal packets runs $4 to $5. A 42-ounce container of plain rolled oats from the same shelf costs the same amount and contains enough servings for nearly a month of breakfast. The per-serving cost difference ranges from 2 to 3 times more expensive for the packets. But the cost that matters most does not appear on the price tag. Each flavored packet carries 10 to 15 grams of added sugar. A single packet. Before you have left the house in the morning, once you have already consumed nearly half the American Heart Association's recommended daily sugar ceiling for women, not from a pastry, not from a candy bar, but from a product marketed to you with words like wholesome and heart healthy on the box. Plain rolled oats contain 0 added sugar. They take 5 minutes on a stovetop or a few hours of passive time in a jar of cold water. Add a handful of frozen berries, a drizzle of honey so small it barely registers, a shake of cinnamon, and you have a breakfast that is nutritionally superior in every measurable dimension to the packet version. Costs a third of the price and does not start your day by spending half your sugar budget before 8 in the morning. This is not a lifestyle choice. It is arithmetic dressed up as a health decision. Number 14, individual yogurt cups. Something is almost certainly in your refrigerator right now. A multi-pack of individual yogurt cups, possibly a name you associate with gut health and protein and making reasonable decisions at the grocery store. Pull one out. Now calculate the price per pound. Between $14 and $17 per pound. Now find that same brand, same product, same bacteria cultures, same protein content, same ingredient list in the large tub. $4 to $5 per pound. The price difference is not explained by quality, freshness, or nutritional variation. It is explained entirely by container size. You are paying up to 4 times more for identical food in smaller plastic. There is one additional dimension worth sitting with. Large containers move faster. That means the tub you pick up is likely to be newer than the individual cup that has been slowly rotating toward its expiration date in the multi-pack. You are paying 4 times as much for food that may be older, wrapped in 5 to 6 times as much plastic per serving. A set of small reusable containers costs $6 once. Fill them from the large tub the day you get home. This is the entire solution. The yogurt industry simply counts on the hope that you will never stop to run the calculation. If this is making you feel the walls closing in a little, good. That feeling is the correct response. Hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment below with which item shocked you most. The list is about to get significantly darker. Shorted number 13, single-serve snack packs. They found a way to sell you less food for more money and make you feel like you were getting organized. A multi-pack of individually portioned crackers, 10 or 12 small pouches inside a box, costs $7 to $9 for 8 to 10 ounces of product. The family-sized bag of the identical crackers, same brand, same factory, same seasoning formula, costs $4 to $5 for 28 to 30 ounces. On a per-ounce basis, the single-serve version costs 5 to 6 times more. Not a little more. 5 to 6 times. And there is no trade-off hiding somewhere in the ingredients. No flavor enhancement. No quality differential. The food is chemically identical. Only what you purchased is the act of subdivision, the privilege of having someone place the crackers into smaller bags before they reached you. The global snack food market has exceeded $690 billion. The single-serve packaging segment is one of its fastest-growing revenue engines. Not because it serves consumers better, but because it reliably commands a premium that most people never calculate while reaching for it. Households dependent on single-serve packaging spend an estimated $600 to $900 more per year than those purchasing the same items in bulk formats. Over a decade, that is a number with enough zeros to change what retirement looks like. The practical countermeasure takes under 5 minutes. Buy the large bag. Purchase reusable containers of whatever size suits you. Portion it yourself at home. The result is identical food at 1/5 the cost, in less plastic, with the same portion control. Number 12. Pre-cut fruits and vegetables. Walk any produce section in the country, and you will find the before and the after sitting a few feet apart from each other, like a before and after warning that no one has yet read. A whole pineapple, $2.99. That same pineapple peeled, cored, and divided into rings inside a plastic tray, $5.49. An 83% price increase for approximately 4 minutes of knife work performed somewhere in the back of the store, or in a central processing facility by a machine. Industry data consistently places the average markup on pre-cut produce at 40% or more compared to buying whole. Across a full year of habitual pre-cut purchasing, Hana household pays several hundred additional dollars for labor. The store performs at a cost of almost nothing per unit. But the money is once again the smaller story. The moment produce is cut, the nutritional degradation clock starts running. Vitamin C begins oxidizing. Certain B vitamins lose stability. Moisture evaporates from exposed surfaces. The enzymes that structural integrity depends upon begin breaking down cellular walls. You are purchasing food that was nutritionally superior before someone cut it, and paying more for the inferior version. Frozen produce does not get discussed enough in this context because the grocery industry does not benefit from promoting it. Frozen fruits and vegetables are harvested at peak ripeness, the moment when nutritional density is highest, and flash frozen immediately, and unlocking that profile in place for months. They cost 40 to 60% less than pre-cut fresh alternatives. The produce industry's lowest margin category is also, in many documented cases, its most nutritionally stable. Number 11. Name brand spices. Here is what a 700% markup looks like in practice. A major brand jar of smoked paprika at a conventional American grocery store, $3.79 for approximately 2.5 ounces. The same spice, the same compound, the same capsaicin-derived pigment at a Middle Eastern or Indian specialty grocer nearby, often under 50 cents for a comparable or larger quantity. The math is not an exaggeration. It is arithmetic verifiable by anyone with a phone capable of division. But the pricing is not the most insidious part. Those beautiful branded bottles have been traveling a supply chain for between 6 months and 2 years before they reach your cart. Spices derive their flavor, aroma, and potency from volatile aromatic compounds that begin degrading from the moment the spice is processed and exposed to air and light. By the time you open that jar, you may be working with a spice that has lost between 30 and 60% of its original potency. The paprika that should be smoky and vibrant tastes like faintly colored dust. Not because it was ever a bad product, because it sat too long in a chain optimized for shelf presence, not freshness. Ethnic specialty grocers rotate their spice inventory in weeks, not months. Fresher product, dramatically lower prices, bulk quantities that last without degrading because you cycle through them quickly. Buy whole spices wherever possible. The volatile compounds in whole peppercorns, coriander seeds, and cumin remain locked and protected until you crack them open. Store everything in sealed glass containers away from heat and light. The same $4 that buys a small jar at the grocery chain buys enough at the right store to last the better part of a year. Number 10 in specialty diet labeled foods. This is where the grocery store's audacity begins to feel almost admirable in the way that a well-executed con is almost admirable. Before you realize you were the mark. A jar of peanut butter carrying a keto-friendly label at a major American chain, approximately $11 for 16 ounces. Ingredients: peanuts, salt. A conventional natural peanut butter from the same store, $3.79 for 16 ounces. Wash ingredients: peanuts, salt. The label added $7.20 to the transaction. It changed nothing about the food inside the container. The same pattern propagates throughout the specialty diet section. Paleo-approved snack crackers, Whole30 compliant marinara sauce, keto certified electrolyte powder. Every single one of these descriptions applies equally, often word for word, to conventional products already existing on shelves elsewhere in the store. Products that carry neither the badge of dietary approval nor the associated price elevation. Dietary frameworks like keto, paleo, and Whole30 are not product lines manufactured by companies with certified ingredient supplies. They are nutritional criteria, sets of rules. The foods that meet those rules have always existed. Eggs have always been keto. Unseasoned chicken breast has always been paleo. Canned tomatoes with no added ingredients have always been Whole30 compliant. None of these foods required rebranding to become compliant. None of them needed a front-of-package seal. The specialty diet food market grew by over 40% in 2 years. Not because labeled products contain nutritionally superior ingredients, because consumers committed to a specific dietary identity are often motivated, slightly anxious about getting it right, and more susceptible to packaging that signals institutional approval. The anxiety is legitimate. The product is the exploitation of it. Read the back label. Ignore the front entirely. You are halfway through the apocalypse. The next items involve larger annual costs, more disturbing health angles, honey, and the kind of numbers that tend to rewire how you shop permanently. Like this video, subscribe if you haven't, and leave a comment. We read everyone. Number 9. Superfood labeled products. The FDA has never defined the term superfood. Not once. Not in any regulation, not in any guidance document, not in any formal ruling at any point in the agency's history. It is not a regulatory category. It carries no evidentiary standard. It requires no clinical backing. Any manufacturer in the country can print it on any package in any font size and charge whatever premium the market will tolerate. Over the past 4 years, the use of superfood in consumer food marketing has increased by more than 300%. That acceleration is not driven by new discoveries in nutritional science. When it is driven by the discovery that the word itself, that single compound noun, reliably increases price tolerance in a significant percentage of purchasing consumers. Goji berries currently retail for $12 to $14 per 8-ounce bag at major American chains. That translates to over $24 per pound. Cultivated blueberries, supported by one of the most robust bodies of antioxidant and cognitive health research in modern nutritional science, retail for $3 to $5 per pound. In Ningxia, China, where goji berries have been a dietary staple for centuries, they are an ordinary market commodity, cheap, plentiful, unremarkable. The superfood designation that multiplies their price tag for Western consumers is not the product of scientific consensus. It is the product of branding decisions made in marketing departments. The foods with the most deeply documented long-term health outcomes are not exotic. They are not rare. They do not require international sourcing or premium packaging. Dark leafy greens, berries in every variety, legumes, cruciferous vegetables, whole grains. These are the foods that appear again and again in longevity research, in metabolic health studies, in cardiovascular outcomes data going back decades. They have no label. They need none. They have been quietly sustaining human health for thousands of years without a marketing budget. Number 8. Organic everything. Most people who reach for organic produce are acting from a legitimate and evidence-supported concern. Reducing pesticide exposure is a rational goal. The Environmental Working Group's annual pesticide analysis found that approximately 95% of sampled produce carries detectable pesticide residues, with some individual fruits showing more than 50 distinct chemical compounds even after being washed. Strawberries have tested for as many as 23 separate residues on a single piece of fruit. That is a real concern. The full picture, however, is considerably more nuanced than the organic label acknowledges. And acknowledging the nuance saves a substantial amount of money without meaningfully increasing pesticide exposure. The same EWG data reveals that nearly 65% of items on their Clean 15 list, avocados, sweet corn, pineapples, onions, frozen peas, among others, showed no detectable pesticide residue at all. For those items, the organic premium changes nothing about what actually enters your body. You are paying more for a label that, on those specific items, confers no measurable benefit. The organic food market has now exceeded $52 billion annually. The average organic label adds approximately 20% to an item's cost, and considerably more in some categories. There is an additional detail that rarely surfaces in marketing conversations. 4 of the 5 most commonly detected pesticide residues on high-risk produce are post-harvest fungicides, compounds applied after harvest to extend shelf appearance, not to assist the growing process. These compounds are under ongoing study for potential effects on thyroid and endocrine function. The implication is clear and actionable. Apply your organic budget surgically. Buy organic for the items consistently appearing on the high-risk list. Strawberries, spinach, kale, peaches, pears, among others. Buy conventional for the Clean 15. Applied consistently, this single framework reduces organic grocery spending by 40 to 50% while maintaining comparable pesticide risk reduction. The certification serves a purpose. The question is always where that purpose actually applies. Number 7. Pre-marinated meats. 2 versions of the same cut, separated by a few feet and a substantial price gap. Plain chicken thighs at $4.49 per pound. The same thighs submerged in a honey chipotle marinade in a sealed presentation tray at $7.29 per pound. A 62% price increase for 30 to 50 cents worth of sauce applied to the same piece of protein. And that is the financial dimension. What lies behind it is something grocery stores have considerably less interest in advertising. Commercial marinades are formulated to perform several functions simultaneously. They add flavor. They add visual appeal. They dramatically extend the apparent freshness of meat that may be approaching the end of its acceptable shelf period. A former meat department manager with nearly 2 decades of experience described it plainly. Pre-marinated products are routinely used to move cuts that are nearing their sell-by date. Heavy sodium content, color-enhancing additives, and aromatic seasoning compounds effectively neutralize the subtle sensory signals. The slight color shift, the beginning of an off note in the smell, that would otherwise alert a paying customer to the meat's age. That presentation tray is doing several things at once. It is charging you 60% more. It is delivering between 700 and 900 milligrams of sodium per serving, more than a third of the American Heart Association's recommended daily ceiling in a single serving of protein before any other food has been consumed. It is providing an ingredient list dense with modified starches, preservatives, and flavor compounds with names designed to sound more natural than their functions. And it may be selling you meat that is older than what you would select from the plain display case 3 feet away. A homemade marinade takes 5 minutes. Olive oil and acid, lemon juice, vinegar, wine, garlic, whatever dried or fresh herb is available. The cost is a fraction of the marked up tray version. Why the sodium content is controlled by you. The ingredient list contains only what you chose to add, and it will taste better because fresh ingredients are more aromatic than compounds that have been sealed in a tray for several days. The trade-off the store is offering is this: pay 60% more, consume significantly more sodium, accept complete opacity about ingredient quality and meat age, in exchange for saving 3 to 5 minutes of mixing. That is not a good trade. Number 6. Energy drinks and specialty coffee. Every other entry on this list describes a purchase. This one describes a habit. And the difference between those two things, when multiplied across 365 days, one is the difference between an inconvenience and a financial emergency that has been quietly assembling itself in the background of your daily routine. A single energy drink from the grocery store or gas station convenience section, $3.29 to $4.50. A specialty cold brew or large coffee from a cafe or grocery store ready-to-drink section, $5 to $6. Purchasing both on alternating days, 4 times a week, produces a monthly beverage expenditure of $100 to $130 before a single unit of food has been placed in the cart. Annualized, that figure reaches $1,200 to $1,500. Over 5 years, it becomes a meaningful portion of an emergency fund, a down payment contribution, a debt payoff. The health dimension of energy drinks adds a layer that the industry has worked vigorously to bury beneath claims of natural caffeine and vitamin B complex profiles. A standard energy drink contains between 54 and 80 grams of sugar per can. That single can exceeds the American Heart Association's total daily sugar recommendation for women and approaches double the recommendation for men. The can is typically consumed at the beginning of the day before any other food. The marketing language surrounding it, clean energy, natural stimulation, performance enhancement, is cosmetic text applied to what the nutrition label will tell you plainly if you look at it. A 40-ounce container of quality ground coffee costs approximately $10 and yields roughly 100 cups at home. The per-cup cost is approximately 10 cents. With a cafe equivalent of that same cup, $5 or more, a markup approaching 5,000%. Cold brew requires 4 minutes of effort. Coarse ground coffee, cold water, covered overnight in the refrigerator. A 32-ounce batch costs between $1.50 and $2 to produce. The same quantity in ready-to-drink bottles at retail, $15 to $25. The industry designed the convenience to feel worth the cost. It was designed that way deliberately. The final items on this list are where the reckoning becomes personal. Drop a comment if you've made it this far, and subscribe, because the information coming next tends to permanently change the way people move through a grocery store. Number 5, loyalty card manipulation. Here is one that never appears on lists like this because it is invisible. The grocery store loyalty card, the rewards program, the points system that promises to give something back to consumers for their continued patronage. It feels like a benefit. It is instrumented surveillance with a discount attached. Every loyalty card swipe is a data point. The store now knows not just what you bought, but when, in what combination, following what in-store path, in response to which promotion. Over months, the system builds a purchasing profile accurate enough to predict your behavior with disturbing reliability and to target promotions specifically engineered to exploit the patterns it has identified. The discounts are real, they are also calibrated. So studies examining grocery loyalty program architectures consistently find that the items placed on members-only discount are disproportionately high-margin products. Items the store can afford to mark down 20% and still clear a substantial profit. The items you would save most on by switching to alternatives are rarely the ones featured in loyalty program promotions. The program is not designed to save you money. It is designed to retain your purchasing behavior while the store monetizes the data your behavior generates, often by selling it to consumer packaged goods companies who use it to refine their own targeting. The counter strategy is simple but requires commitment. Use the card for its discounts, but do not allow it to anchor you to a single store or a single product format. The discount on a high-margin product is almost always still more expensive than the alternative. Number 4. Fresh bakery items. Before you saw the bakery section already found you. Within seconds of walking through the entrance of a large grocery chain, something happens that most people experience as appetite and nearly no one correctly identifies as engineering. There is warmth. There is the smell of something baking, bread, cinnamon, caramelizing sugar. And before you have consulted your list or your budget or your intentions, something older and more powerful than reason has already decided it wants something from that display case. Research from the Scent Marketing Institute found that artificially circulating the aroma of fresh bread through a grocery store's ventilation system tripled bakery sales. Not increased, tripled. Many major grocery chains do not rely on actual baking to produce that smell. They use scent diffusion systems, engineered synthetic aroma compounds introduced through the ventilation at intervals, calibrated to maintain the effect throughout peak shopping hours. The smell is not incidental. It is a device, and it is one of the most commercially effective devices the retail food industry has ever deployed. The margins inside the bakery case justify the investment in the scent system. Individual muffins, croissants, decorated cookies, and artisan loaves consistently carry profit margins of 55 to 65%. A muffin priced at $4.50 represents a raw ingredient cost of under $1. The remainder pays for the packaging, the presentation, the skilled psychology of the scent system, and the premium you pay for having your decision-making partially circumvented by your own olfactory system before your rational mind arrived at the bakery counter. Day-old bakery sections exist in most stores and offer the previous day's inventory at 40 to 50% reductions. Store-brand baking mixes deliver comparable output for a fraction of the cost of the finished product. A $2.29 box of mix yields the equivalent of what a $10 bakery tray offers. Once you understand that the craving you feel near the bakery was deliberately triggered, it does not land with the same authority. Number 3. Breakfast cereal. The cereal aisle is a masterclass in targeting the people least capable of resisting targeted marketing, children and the parents of children, while those children are present in the store. The placement of sugar-forward cereals at eye level for a child standing in a grocery cart is not a coincidence. It is a planogram decision, a shelf layout design choice made by brands that pay slot fees to grocery chains for premium positioning. A name brand box of sugared cereal runs $4 to $5 for a box that contains a dozen servings, each delivering between 12 and 20 grams of sugar before any additional toppings or milk. The same shelf holds 32-ounce containers of plain oats at $4 to $5 for 30 servings with zero added sugar. The visual presentation of the cereal box, the cartoon character, the bright color palette, home with the front of package health claims that have been legally hollowed out to the point of meaninglessness, is designed to make one of these options feel exciting and the other feel like punishment. The annual household expenditure on breakfast cereals averages several $100s for families with children. The nutritional return on that expenditure, when compared to whole grain alternatives at similar cost, is difficult to defend by any metric that is not proprietary to the cereal company's marketing department. The character on the box is not your family's friend. It is a vehicle for brand loyalty programmed into children before they develop the capacity to question it. Number 2. Store brand versus name brand. Here is the secret the grocery store holds in one hand while using the other to charge you more for something identical. Beyond store brand or private label products, the ones with the quieter packaging, the plainer font, the name of the grocery chain itself, are, in a substantial and documented percentage of categories, manufactured in the same facilities, on the same production lines, by the same companies as the name brand products sitting beside them. FDA regulations require that food products meet identical safety and quality standards, regardless of the label on the front. In product categories including over-the-counter medications, canned goods, dairy, frozen vegetables, and basic dry goods, consumer testing panels have found no statistically significant difference in taste, texture, or quality between store brand and name brand products. The name brand costs, on average, between 25 and 40% more. The premium is paying for two things: the brand's marketing budget and the human tendency to associate perceived quality with price and visual prestige. The food inside the can does not know which label is on the outside. In every category where the ingredients are comparable, the store brand product is the rational choice, and the name brand selection is a tax on brand loyalty that accumulates hundreds of dollars per year in premium paid for no discernible return.